We'll get started. I grabbed a pillow off my couch because we're going to start in Virasana. So it's nice to have something to sit on. So basically, your knees are closed and your feet open up a little bit, and then you're kind of sitting back on your seat. We'll be here for a couple minutes. So you want to make sure it's something that's tolerable. And of course, you can always come out of it halfway through if you want and just come to a normal cross-legged seat. This isn't going to be as good as the massage that Colleen was looking for, but kind of taking your hands and working on your calf flesh, moving that calf flesh out to the side, almost like you're rolling your lower leg out, and then maybe kind of making a little fist and just applying a little bit of pressure to the bottom of the foot. And again, I like the rolling out, so kind of start knuckles towards the inside, roll out towards the pinky toe side of the foot a couple times, just to kind of open up through the bottom of the feet. And then do the same thing on the other side, taking your hand, working on that calf flesh, rolling it out to the side, and that's almost going to create a little more space for the upper legs to sink down into this pose. And then you can take your fist and give yourself a quick little foot massage, rolling from inside to outside. And maybe taking both hands and kind of squeezing the heels a little bit. And then as you do that, draw your elbows and your shoulders back in space. Lift the crown of the head up nice and high. And then just bring your hands to rest on your thighs. Palms down is going to be a little more grounding. Turning palms up will be a little bit more uplifting. Take a nice slow deep breath in, breathe all the way down into the base of the belly. And then as you exhale, just kind of let that breath follow it up. Almost feel like the breath comes up from the base of the belly to the crown of the head. Inhale, we'll draw the breath down. Exhale, draw it up. Inhale, fill all the way down to the bottom of the belly. Exhale, breath comes up almost through the crown of the head. Do 3 more like that. Beginning to set an intention for your practice this morning. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, let the breath out. And then we're going to inhale, open up our arms nice and wide out to the side. Fingertips reach out far, shoulders drop down, chest is open. You're going to give yourself a little hug. Right arm underneath left arm. Lift the elbows up and drop the shoulders down. We're going to take a big deep breath, breathe into like the back bottom rib cage. And as you do, pull those elbows forward. Exhale, let the breath out. So you can stay like this, or you can do a full eagle arm where the right hand is going to move around and try to find the left thumb. We're going to do these arms a couple times today, so you've got either option. Inhale, lengthen the spine, keep those elbows lifted. Exhale, let's take a little twist over to the right. Good, big deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist over to the right. Good, one more time. Inhale, breath in, fingers up, elbows up. Exhale, twist right. And then you're going to come back to center. Inhale, open up the arms nice and wide. And then switch the grip. So we'll go left underneath right. And you'll give yourself that little hug. Lift the elbows up, drop the shoulders down. Breathe into the space in the back bottom ribs. Let that breath out. And again, stay here, or left hand snakes around to find the right hand. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift elbows, lift crown of the head. Exhale, twist left. Almost feel like as you're doing this twist, that right elbow, trying to see how far you can move that around. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Good, one more, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, twist, come back to center, release the arms, and just shift yourself up to hands and knees. Checking in with those lower legs. If they feel like they've fallen asleep, maybe pat out the feet a little bit. And we'll just kind of alternate, stretch one foot back, curl the toes under, find a nice little stretch through the calf. And then do that on the other side. We'll go back to the right side. Extend the right leg nice and long, toes curled onto the floor. And then I want you to pick that leg up and swing the right leg over to the left. Ground those right toes over to the left. And then turn your gaze. Look over your left shoulder and be able to see that foot. So sometimes people feel this on the outside of the right hip. Sometimes it's more that standing right hip. But just see where it is and kind of play with your positioning a little bit. You can drop your hips out to the side. You can move that foot over a little bit. Take a couple nice deep breaths in here. And then you're going to bring this right knee forward. So the top of the right knee goes right into the back of the left knee. And you're going to shift your hips back. And there isn't really a perfect alignment here. You kind of play with what's going on in your hips. Give yourself a little movement from side to side. Kind of figure out where you feel that stretch. A lot of times if you let the hips go right, you're going to get the outside line of this right hip. But then other people will feel lots of stretch through that left hamstring and that left glute. So just play with it a little bit. See how far back you can get your hips to go. Maybe bring your chest down towards your knees. Good, and then you're gonna come halfway out of this. So we're gonna keep the right knee on the floor. Stretch the left leg out long. Left foot is gonna be on the floor. And let's just do a modified side plank. Right hand down, left hand on the left hip, and just stretch overhead. Kind of pulling through that side of the body. A couple big deep breaths here. Again, you can play with the position. We're not worrying so much about alignment. You play with the position of that left foot. That might move where your stretch is. 2 more breaths. And then we'll do the other side. So you're gonna come down. You can, I'm dancing all over the mat here, so you can see what's going on. So left leg's going long behind, and then I'm gonna swing the left foot over to the right. Push my left hip over to the side, look over my right shoulder. Take a couple breaths here. Again, kind of playing with your positioning, maybe shifting where that foot touches the floor. Maybe letting that left hip drop further out to the side. A couple of big deep breaths there. And then we'll take that left knee and we'll bring it forward. So you're kind of crossing left leg behind right. Just like that Virasana that we started in. Feet kind of come away from each other so you can shift your hips back. This right knee probably comes off the ground a little. Shift side to side. Maybe rock back a little more, lower your chest. Good, and then you're gonna come forward. Left knee is gonna stay on the ground. Right leg is extending out to the side. Just walk your left hand over to the side, come into that modified side plank. Press down into that right foot, and then stretch your right arm overhead. Couple breaths here, just kind of noticing if you shift the position of your feet a little bit, how that might change where you feel the stretch sensation. Big breath into the ribs. And then exhale, relax that right arm towards the floor. Just come to sit, one more kind of outer hip stretch. Extend your legs long in front of you, and I want you to cross your right foot over your left leg. Sit up tall. Kind of feel chest pull into that right leg. And think about your right butt dropping down to the floor as we take a little twist into it. So we'll probably revisit some seated twists when we get to the end of the class to see if we've got some more space here. Use your left arm. See if you can rotate around towards that right side. Keep your right butt dropping towards the floor as your spine extends towards the sky. Big deep breath in here. And then exhale, come back. Now I want you to take this right foot, and instead of having your foot push down on the floor, you're going to turn your leg. So the sole of your foot is going back, and it's more like you're trying to rest this right knee on top of the left knee. And then you're going to twist again. Maybe bring the outside of that left arm towards the ground. Twist. Spine is lifting. Right butt is still dropping towards the floor. And just kind of notice the difference in that sensation. It should shift a little bit where you feel this on that hip or even in the back. One more breath. And then go ahead and come back. And you're just going to pick up this foot, right foot. You can hold it with the left hand. Right hand holds the right knee. Sit up tall, collarbones wide, and then just kind of rock that knee from side to side. Notice how much the left leg and the torso are moving. Try to keep them still. You can even kind of push through that left heel and let that be your anchor. So the focus of this kind of movement goes towards that right hip. And again, we'll probably revisit this a little bit towards the end and change and add on. Okay, so right leg long. Let's go with a little twist. Left leg is hopping over right. Sit up tall. Think about bringing that knee into your chest. Collarbones are wide. Left butt dropping towards the floor. And then you're going to hug right elbow around left knee. Left butt to the floor. Crown of the head lifts up to the sky. Few easy breaths here. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, you might have a little bit more room to move through this. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if there's a little more room. And then come back to center. Pick up that left leg, and you're kind of rotating the leg in the hip socket. So now the pinky toe side of the foot comes towards the ground, and the sole of the foot is no longer on the floor. Sit up tall, twist again. Right arm can kind of be used like an anchor. You're just going to press that into your left knee. Extend the spine up nice and tall. Twist left. Good. One more big deep breath in here. Exhale, see if you can rotate a little bit more. And then come back to center. We're going to pick up that left foot with the right hand. Pull the right shoulder back. Left hand is on the left knee. Right foot is firmly on the floor. And just make a few movements side to side here. And I'm noticing as you pull that leg across, if we get that stretch through the outside, maybe as you pull the knee back, stretch through the inside of the hip. Good. And then release the foot, cross at the ankle, come forward to hands and knees. And let's just curl the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Just pedal out your feet a little bit. You can encourage a lot of movement in the hip and kind of upper body twisting, or you can keep this kind of small and compact. And then we're gonna start to march feet towards hands. And I want you to keep your knees kind of soft, belly onto the thighs, drop your head down. We're just gonna bring the arms behind the back, either wrapping behind the legs or maybe just holding onto the calves, coming into this nice forward fold. Big deep breath in here through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let that breath out. Inhale, roll yourself all the way up to stand. For most of it, arms come out to the side, palms face forward, shoulders drop down. You're gonna do that little hug again. Exhale, right arm underneath left. Give yourself a hug. Draw your elbows up in space. Drop your shoulders down. Stay here or bring that up. Bottom arm, the right elbow, arm around. See if right hand can catch left thumb. Inhale to lift fingers. We're gonna take a little side bend here. So exhale, shift your hips way over to the left. Keep your elbows moving away from your chest. Weight's gonna push really deeply into that left foot and let that left foot go even further. Inhale, come back up to center. Relax your arms towards the floor. Give them a little shake. And then we'll do the other side. Sweep the arms out nice and wide. Big deep breath in. Exhale, we're going left arm underneath right. Fingertips walk around. Elbows lift up. If you've got the space for left hand to find right hand, do that. Elbows lift up, shoulders lift down, big deep breath in. Side bend. Hips go to the left. Hands go to the right. Wait, I just did that the same way. Hips go to the right. Hands go to the left. That makes sense. Push into that right foot and reach your right hip way out. And then especially think about that right elbow going towards the left. So really open up through that side. Breathe through the right side ribs. And then go ahead and come back up to stand. Release your arms. Shake them down. Coming back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Coming back into that forward fold. And again, this forward fold for right now has bent knees and has belly resting on the thighs. Head is heavy. You can even get the head a little shake, a little wobble. Maybe do another grip behind the legs somewhere. You can shift it a little bit. Really fall forward into this. Tailbone lifts up, head drops down. Keep that belly to thigh connection. And possibly see if you can get your legs a little straighter while still keeping your belly touching your thighs. Play with that. Bend the knees a little. Take a breath in here. Exhale, belly towards the thighs, butt towards the sky. Inhale, relax, bend the knees a little. Exhale, belly towards the thighs, tailbone towards the sky. One more time. Inhale, come down. You're going to stay down. Bring weight into your heels. Peel the upper body up. Inhale, chair pose. I realize that I've been greatly neglecting chair pose since we started our quarantine. Drop your heels to the floor. Lift your toes up. Lift your chest. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. This time we're going to bring hands onto either the shins or the thighs. So this is a nice long forward fold. Chest forward, tailbone back. And then hands to the ground. You're going to step your left foot back, like deep lunge. Feel free to use blocks if you want. Right hip pulls back in space. Left hip pulls forward. Let's do left hand down to the floor. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Good, big deep breath in here. Spin your right palm. Reach it over your head. Reach heel to fingertips. And then exhale, let's bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. You might heel toe it out to the side. Bring that left knee down. And let's do right knee goes out and then pull it in. Drop it out and then pull it in. One more time, drop it out. Good, draw that knee in and then pick up the right toes. Turn the right toes out to the side. Maybe bring your right hand onto your right thigh. Take a little twist. Look over your shoulder. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, we're gonna bring the right hand back to the floor just to kind of stabilize, because I want you to pick up that left knee, scooch the left foot a little bit over to the right, and then curl onto the pinky toe side of that foot and twist a little bit. So it's like your side plank with a twist. Drop that bottom hip towards the floor to increase stretch sensation. Also, more twisting will increase stretch sensation. 3 breaths here. This should feel like a lot on probably both sides of the body, outer hip. And then go ahead, unwind. Hands to the ground. Step back, downward dog. Just feel it. Notice what this feels like. Pedal out the knees. And we're gonna, again, take a little walk. Slow and steady. Up to the top of the mat. A bunch of teeny tiny little steps. Once you get up there, bend the knees. Belly rests on the thighs, drop your head down, forward fold. Play with gravity here, rock a little bit front to back. Try to keep your upper body really relaxed. Just have the legs absorb that rock. And then from here, we're gonna roll ourselves up to stand. Slow and steady, inhale all the way up. Come into the top, sweep the arms out to the side. This time, palms face up. Just reach your arms up overhead. Bend your right elbow, like you're giving yourself a little pat on the back. Take your left hand, ease that right elbow in towards the center line of the body. And we're gonna shift. Hips to the right, hands to the left. Right foot is really pressing into the ground. Back of the head is pressing into that right shoulder, the right elbow rest. Big deep breath into the right side. Come on up to stand. Sweep the arms up. Switch hands. Left hand gives you the pat on the back. Right hand eases it into the middle. Side bend. Hips go left. Upper body goes right. Big deep breath. Breathe into that left side rib. Press into that left foot as you exhale. Maybe get a little deeper. Good. Go ahead. Come back up to stand. Sweep the arms up. Exhale. Fold yourself forward. Bend your knees. Sink your hips. Bring weight back into the heels. Come up, chair pose. Imagine you could rip the yoga mat in half by pressing your feet out to the side. That should feel some more activation in those outer hip muscles. That should be holding you here more than these big quad muscles that, of course, want to do all the work holding you. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. We're going right foot back into a lunge. Give yourself space left to right. Feel free to use blocks. We're going to inhale, left arm up. Press through that right heel. Draw the right hip up and forward as you lift that left hand up. And maybe reach it overhead. Inhale here. Exhale. Hands are coming down to the floor inside that front foot. Back knee comes to the ground. Left knee is going to drop out to the side. And then inhale, pull it into the middle. Exhale, drop that knee out to the side. And then pull it in. Good. Trying not to move the right hip. You're just kind of moving that left leg in the right hip socket. Next time you bring it up, keep it up. Just turn the left toes out to the side. We're going to do right hand on the floor, left hand on that left thigh. Take a twist here, kind of opening your chest up away from that left knee. And then bring the left hand down just to help you stabilize. You're going to pick up that right leg and then rotate onto the pinky toe side of the foot. Right hand down, right foot down, left hand's coming up, twist here. So think about your little side plank variations with an extra hip twist. Drop that right hip down. Left hip is moving towards the right foot. And then go ahead, unwind, come back to center. Step back, downward dog. Inhale, forward, high plank, top end of a push-up. You can put your knees down or keep them up. Take a breath in here. Exhale, we're coming all the way down to the floor. Uncurl the toes. Fingertips line up with the chest. Pull the elbows back in space, lift the chest, small cobra. Keep weight going across the pinky toes. Go across all the toes, including the pinky toes. So those inner thighs roll up and we create space for the low back. Upper back should be doing a lot more work than the low back here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, teeny tiny little steps. Feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold when you get there. A little bit of bend in the knees. Inhale, roll yourself all the way up, coming to the top of your mat. Big toes touch, little space between the heels. Bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Weight comes back, heel press out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step back, high plank. Good. Knees come down or knees stay up. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, come all the way down to the floor. Uncurl the toes. Fingertips line up with the chest. Pull those shoulders back. Inhale up, baby cobra. Or possibly full cobra. Keep those elbows showing back. Keep the chest lifting. If you want to, push into your feet. Lift your legs up off the floor. What's it called? Upward facing dog. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up behind you. Exhale, we're going to bring this right foot all the way forward between the hands. Step the left foot out to the side a little bit, then bring the heel down, coming into a warrior one leg. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back in space. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Right hand's going to hold on to the left wrist, and you're going to take a little side bend over to the right, while pushing into that left heel and driving that right hip back in space. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, we're going to open up, find warrior two. So I'm shifting my feet a little bit, so now they line up. Bending nice and deeply into that right knee, knee over ankle. Right hand's going to lift up to the sky. Inhale, radiant warrior. Hips sink down, chest lift. And then exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg. Reach the right fingertips back. Come forward into a triangle pose. Right hand down, left hand goes up. Right shoulder pulls back in space. And then extend the spine. Bring the crown of the head forward. Imagine the crown of your head go past your right big toe, which incidentally is pushing into the ground right now. Breath in here. Exhale, bend that front knee, come back up to your warrior two. Right hand's gonna lift up. Bend the right elbow. Give yourself a pat on the back. Left hand eases that right elbow to center. Stay here. Or take that left hand, thumb down, sweep it around behind your back, and you're trying to find your hands. If your hands feel far away, maybe grab hold of your t-shirt. Good, just like we did before, kind of this radiant warrior. Lean back, right elbow to the sky, right leg straightens. And then here, come forward into your triangle. Right elbow comes forward, crown of the head comes forward. We're still pushing into our right big toe. Left outer heel, get longer, inhale. And then exhale, release your arms. Bring that front foot, step back, high plank. With knees or without. Exhale, this time you're either going halfway or all the way to the floor, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or small cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot lifts, inhale. Exhale, bring it up to the top of the mat. Step that right foot out to the side before you plant. Heel down, toes out on that angle. And then we're going to bring right hip forward, left hip back and chest is open, collarbones are wide, arms come up. Left hand holds the right wrist. Take that side bend left. Keep pulling your left hip back in space. While the right heel grounds down back behind you. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Front knee over ankle. Hips and shoulders are square to the long side of your mat. And then we'll do radiant warrior. Left arm's going up, right hand sweeps down the back leg. On an exhale, you're going to straighten that left leg and really see how far you can pull back with that left hand. Take all that length, come forward, left hand down, right hand up, triangle pose. Shoulder blades pull back in space. Chest lifts up. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to rebend that front knee, come back up into your warrior two. Left arm's going up, bend the elbow. Give yourself that pat on the back. Ease the elbow into center. Stay here or see what kind of bind you can get back behind you, either with actual hands, side harder, or t-shirt. Good. Keep the torso nice and tall. You're just going to lean, straighten that leg. Then lean it back. Big breath, breathe through those left side ribs. And then lead with the left elbow. Try to stay long. You don't want to collapse on that left side. Lean. Elbow forward, tailbone back. Putting weight in that left big toe. Right outer heel. Maybe there's a little more rotation on the spine as if you're leaning back on those hands. And then exhale, release the hands. Bend the knee. Step back, plank. Your choice what kind of vinyasa you're going to go. I'm going to get a sip of water because I'm losing my voice. If you're doing the vinyasa, you're lowering halfway or all the way to the floor. Inhaling small cobra or upward dog. Exhaling back downward dog. 3 breaths in that downward dog. And then your choice, you're going to step those tiny little steps, or maybe make a little pop, bend the knees, take the hips, hop the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, take your hips, inhale, chair pose. Good, let's exhale, take a little twist here. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee, prayer hands. Press that right hand down, extend the spine, and pull your right hip back in space. The more you kind of pull that hip back in space while the chest is coming forward, the more we're going to open through this kind of low side back to outer hip line. Inhale here. Exhale, unwind, fold forward. Feet are going to come to about hip-width distance apart. You're going to take your first 2 fingers, loop them in between big toe and second toe, and then the thumb kind of comes around and close off that gap. If your hamstrings are tight, go ahead and keep your knees bent. I want you to have that toe lock. Inhale, extend the spine, lift the chest, and then exhale, bend the elbows, pull yourself into this. Again, you might still have your knees bent. You want to play with how straight can I get my legs and still have my belly touching my thighs, and my neck being nice and long and relaxed. Release the hold you got on your toes. You'll toe your feet back together. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Chair pose. And now we're going to twist the opposite direction. So the right elbow's coming to the outside of the left knee. Prayer hands. Extend the spine. Pull that left hip back in space. Collarbones are open. Left hip back, chest forward. Inhale here. Exhale, unwind. Feet about hips width distance apart. You're going to roll yourself up to stand. We're doing a little bit of balance for the next 2 poses. So if you feel wobbly, have a wall nearby. And if you're going to use the wall, it's almost like you're going to use your butt to kind of press against the wall to stabilize you. So we'll start right foot on the floor. Spread those right toes out nice and wide. Give them a little wiggle. And then bend into that right knee just a little bit. Feel like as you bend your right knee, you can shift your hips back a little bit and you get some support from the outer right hip. From here, we're going to pick up the left ankle, or the whole left leg with the ankle, cross ankle over knee, butt back, chest forward. So you can see, you can't see from this angle. I now have my butt just sitting on the wall and I'm kind of pressing on my, not my knee, but my thigh and my foot to increase that outer hip stretch.
if your hips are really tight and that's what you need, go ahead and do that. If you want to play with balance, you're coming off the wall, you're going into that same position, and maybe doing prayer hands and kind of resting your elbows on your leg. Tailbone back in space, chest forward. Look at something that's not moving. Collarbones are wide. Weight is spread across that right foot. Pull the butt back, chest forward. And then go ahead and slowly come up to stand. Uncross the ankle. Just put that left foot on the floor. Right foot next to it. Stand in mountain pose. Resist the urge to fidget and wiggle too much. Kind of let that sensation go through the right leg after all that standing work. And then we'll start to ground into that left foot. So again, kind of spread the toes wide, bend the knees a little, bring your hips back just a little bit so we can feel some action here. Then right ankle over left knee. You can do butt against wall and just kind of press down, right thigh, extend the spine, or come off the wall. Do the same thing, but without support. Probably have you can probably go a little bit deeper off the wall, but you can't push into that leg as much because you'll fall over. And then you do prayer hands. Do prayer hands here. Try not to arch the back of the neck too much, as I'm doing, because I'm watching you all in your videos. Do as I say, not as I do. Back of the neck long, tailbone back, chest forward. Maybe you can drop into that right hip a little more. Keep weight spreading all the way across that left foot. And then inhale, come up to stand. Feet on the floor, mountain pose. Just take a moment. Pause, see what you feel. We're going to do some eagle poses now. So again, you're going to start weight in the right foot. I'm going to go sideways this time so you can kind of see. So again, you can put your butt back onto the wall if you need support on this one. But I'm dropping back, kind of like my chair pose. I'm putting more weight in my heel. I'm even wiggling my little toes off the floor. Left leg is going to come up and you're going to wrap it around the right leg. Think about those inner thighs kind of dropping down. Some of you might even be able to tuck this toe, these left toes behind their right. Not me. Some of you might want to use that like a little kickstand. Arms come out in front. We're going to do left arm underneath right. Give yourself a hug. If you can do that full arm, left hand's going to sweep up and find the right hand. Keep your weight dropping back. You know, think of this eagle pose. Like think of a bird on a perch. Those tails go way back. The butt goes way back. And a lot of times you'll see people do this eagle pose and they'll take their elbows all the way down to their knees. So it's not really an action of your spine folding forward. It's that you're pulling your hips so far back and you're resting your belly onto your thighs. So it's a kind of a different shape. This eagle is ready to like fly into something. 3 more breaths. And then again, go ahead, stand up. Uncross your legs. Find mountain. A nice, calm, unfidgety mountain. And then we'll start to find the other side. So you're going to put your weight on your left. Bring your hips back. Weight in that left heel. Maybe wiggle the toes a little. Right leg's going over. See, magically, that toe, these toes will hook on this side, they won't on the other, or close to hook. Butt back, chest forward. Arms come out in front. We're gonna hug right under left. Elbows up, chest open. We've got the full arm, do the full arm. And the way to get deeper is to keep pulling those hips back. It's gonna put more work in the legs, but also more stretch in the hips. Inner thighs squeeze together, elbows squeeze forward. And as you bring the elbows forward, That's going to increase that shoulder stretch. And this is where you might end up getting that little hook. 3 breaths here. Good. Unlock. Come up. Whew. Mountain one more time. If you are by a wall, you're going to walk your mountain up to the top of your mat. One more time, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips, bring weight back. Bring the butt back, weight in the heels. So my arms are out in front. You might find that you want your arms down towards the floor. We're going to slowly make our way to, that wasn't slow. Semi-slowly. Make our way to the floor. Find boat pose. Draw your shoulders back in space. Inner thighs come together. If it feels appropriate for you, lift your toes up off the floor. Belly towards the spine. Crown of the head lifts up. Collarbones are wide. This is a balance pose. You're just balancing on your butt. Trying not to move the torso. Keep it long. Keep it like your mountain. From here, we're going to hug knees into chest. We're still balancing. Butt is on the floor. Toes are maybe barely touching the floor. Chest is open. Collarbones are wide. Stay long in the spine. Feel that belly to thigh connection. And then just lean the torso back a little more. You're staying long. Then lift the legs. Arms. Maybe straight legs. Slow, even breaths. We got about 10 of them. Your back is doing the work. Bring feet down or use your hands to help stabilize. And then we're going to come down to the ground. Hug knees into the chest. Just take a pause here. And then go ahead and roll yourself up. We're going to go right back to those seated twists that we did at the beginning and kind of add on to those. So let's start. Left leg long, right knee bent. You're going to bring that right foot in as close to your hips as you can get it. Sit up tall and then cross right ankle over the outside of the left leg. You can do this kind of wrap, arm around the thigh, or you can cross in front. Okay, that's point 1. Let's all just take about 3 breaths here, seeing how deep you can get into that twist. And then come back around. You can maybe take this left leg, bring the left foot back to the right butt. So you've got kind of a contact point. Push your right foot down, or right butt down into that left foot and twist again. If this bothers your knees or just doesn't fit in your hips, keep that left leg long. And let's twist. Coming into this Lord of the Fishes pose. Inhale to extend your spine. Exhale to see how far you can turn around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Okay, and then you're going to come back. So if you've got this left leg tucked back, keep it back. I wish I had a lazy Susan to swing around on so I could give you guys all the angles. This right leg, just like we did in the beginning, we're going to turn that right leg in the hip socket. So the sole of the right foot is kind of pushing back. And you see how I'm like grabbing onto my feet and then I'm scooching my hips forward? That's going to get me deeper into this position. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep holding onto your feet and just see what a forward fold feels like. So as I go forward, I feel this a lot on my right outer hip. Some people feel this more on the left hip. Inhale, extend your spine. Just like all those forward folds that we did before, I'm using my torso, like belly is pressing into that thigh to increase the stretch sensation. Good, go ahead, come up. We're gonna fold back over again. You can do this same leg and arm using your arms. If you wanna add the shoulder stretch, we did it before when we were standing up. Left arm's going up, bend the left elbow, give yourself a pat on the back. Right hand whoosh, eases that left elbow into center, get tall. And then right arm reaches behind, rotate shoulder forward, and then lift up. See if you can catch hand, t-shirt. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Cow face pose. 2 more. 1 more. And then slowly come up, release your arms, shake out that shoulder. That one's a lot on my right shoulder. Okay, still have the right leg on top. You're gonna pick it up. Left hand holds the right foot. Right hand holds the right knee. Re-extend that left leg if it was tucked back. Inhale, extend your spine, lean back. Think back to our boat pose, like our little balance pose. And then you're gonna see, you might be able to balance and actually lift the left foot off the ground. Chest is open, collarbones wide. Don't lose the hip stretch. Keep moving this right foot up in space. And the closer you get your shin towards your chest, usually the better stretch you're gonna get on that hip. Also, the harder it is to balance. If all of the challenges I'm loading on here aren't enough, you can also work on gracefully lowering and lifting that left leg, but you're not allowed to move the torso. So a very controlled motion with that left leg, still keeping the right leg in tight. And then go ahead, put that foot on the ground, left foot on the ground, right sole of the foot in towards the left inner thigh, and just fold in the direction of that left foot. I'm kind of crossing my grip. I'm putting my left hand, no, this is my right hand, to the outside of my left leg. Taking a few slow, deep breaths into the back of that right hip, right low back. And then roll yourself up. So we're gonna start right leg long, left leg hops over. Inhale to extend your spine, just get tall. So the first twist, either wrap that left arm around the right arm around the left knee, or cross the elbow in front. Get tall and then twist. Think about creating some space in between your hips and your rib cage on that inhale so that you've got more room to exhale, twist. And if you find your belly getting in the way as you twist, move it. Use your hands, just kind of scoop it over to the side. 3 breaths here. Back to front. If you did it on the other side, you're going to take that right leg, hook right heel back towards that left butt. Drop your left butt into your right heel. You might have to adjust that left leg, bring it back in. We're going to twist again, either wrap or cross that left leg. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Really using those abdominal muscles on the exhale to move you a little deeper into the twist. And then go ahead and come back. So we're going to take that right hand, the left leg, and you're going to bring it back further so that the sole of the foot is pushing back. Take both of your hands. I kind of have my thumbs on the bottoms of my feet, and I'm pushing into the ground so I can scooch my hips a little further forward. Then I'm extending my spine, and I'm folding over this left leg. Kind of putting a little bit more weight towards the left side so I can increase that
kind of IT band outside of the hip stretch. Come up. We'll do one more of those. This time you can add the arm variation, which is going to be right arm goes overhead, left hand eases that right arm to center. Then you take the left arm, internally rotate so your thumb points down, then sweep that arm behind your back. See if you can catch hands. Inhale, extend your spine. Head presses back into that right elbow. Lean forward. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, lean. Letting that weight fall on the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Give them a little shake. Come up to sit. We're going to grab hold of that left foot with the right hand. Send the right leg long out onto the floor. Inhale, extend your spine. Draw that shin towards your chest as you lean back. You might stay here, or you might work on more balance and lift that right foot. Notice as you get tired, if you roll back, I want you to stay nice and tall. Ribs towards the shin towards the ribs. We did it on the other side. You're going to try that very controlled movement. Up and down. Go ahead and put that right heel on the floor. Left sole of the foot towards the right inner thigh. Lean forward. Bringing the left hand to the outside of the right leg, getting just a little bit of a cross twist. Kind of a counter twist as you go into this Janu Shirshasana pose. And then you're going to inhale, come up. Bring your feet on the ground and just bring your hands onto the ground. So we did a lot of forward folding and a lot of kind of hip and twisting. So we're just going to open up through the front of the body, going into a reverse tabletop. If this bothers your elbows or your wrist, you can always do it with elbows down on the ground, or you can skip it. Inhale, come up. Think about getting more weight towards your feet than into your arms. Draw your tailbone toward your knees. Extend your spine. Belly button towards the thighs. Chest is open and lifted. And then come down. You do another one of those. You can skip it. Or you can do a reverse plank. Extend the legs long. Push the heels into the ground. Open up the chest. Lift the hips. Your intention is to get all of your toes onto the floor. The reality doesn't always meet the intention on this one. 3 breaths. Then go ahead, bring your hips to the ground. Come all the way down, lie on your back. Let's stretch the arms up overhead. Take a couple slow, easy breaths. Inhale, kind of opens up through the belly. Exhale, just relaxes back to the starting position. You can bring your arms to like a goalpost so they're no longer stretched overhead, but still kind of open through the chest. Take a deep breath. Inhale, expands the belly. Exhale, let it recede to its starting position. And then bring your arms back by your side, or if it feels good today, you can also use palms down on your belly just for a little extra grounding. Invite some breath into your bodies. Wiggle fingers, toes. Roll wrists and ankles. Draw your knees up into your chest. And again, just take a little pause in here. Hug those knees into the belly. Feel your body move with breath and kind of feel that compression between legs and torso. And then you're going to roll over to one side. Slowly bring yourself up to sit. Coming into whatever seated position feels best. Just kind of arrange your legs the way they naturally want to fall. Let your arms drop down onto your thighs. Close your eyes. And we're just going to take 3 more breaths here. Again, kind of feeling this idea of letting the inhale come all the way down into your root, and that exhale rise all the way up through your crown. Inhale, draw it down. Exhale, let that breath travel up. One more time, let it come down. Breath goes all the way up on the exhale, and we'll bring our hands to heart center and bow down, sealing in all of our practice. Namaste.